What's good, sports gamers? With another year under its belt, 2K has set out to continue to move the bar forward on what's possible with current-gen gaming. With a brand new city to play around in, pro play technology that could change gameplay forever, and many other small improvements all over, let's find out if they're enough to prove 2K24 is a worthy next installment in the series. I'm Chris from Sports Gamers Online, and alright, let's get it. Now, when you get onto the court in NBA 2K24, you can tell the developers spent their offseason perfecting how to hit doubles, but with the home run ability being the introduction of pro play technology, which I can say without a shadow of a doubt improves the gameplay for the better. With the leap sports gaming has taken, I've always wondered, will we ever get to the point where it legit feels like I'm controlling Joel Embiid right now, from how he runs to his moves on the court, and I feel 2K has been making huge steps towards that with the new consoles. And this year, with pro play technology, being able to take actual footage and translate that into me pulling off those moves have blown me away. It really changes the on-the-court action in a big way. Been stated before release that this is the largest year-over-year SIG animation upgrade to date, and you can tell, man. We've all seen the Kevin Durant example used in trailers, but playing with PG, bro, even Jokic, it's really inspiring stuff, pulling off the combos, dunks, jump shots that they straight ripped from real life. I'm excited where they're gonna take this in the years to come. Now, shooting outside of the rec or city isn't as green or missed as last year, which is fine. But the different shot timings depending on where the defender is still an annoying part about shooting, but doesn't seem like it will go away anytime soon, so whatever. A nice addition to the game though is the shot timing visual cue to green your shots now. So instead of telling the game how fast or slow you want to release the button or stick to shoot, you can tell it what visual cue you want, so you know when to release the ball. So you're telling the game, I want the perfect window to be when he's about to flick the ball forward, or when he jumps, or right when he's about to release the ball. I love that. This gives you more confidence playing with players you have never played with before, so you're not out there shooting like Marcus Smart. Mid-range shots also seem to have been buffed a great deal, as off-balance shots go in about as much as off-balance threes did last year, which thankfully got nerfed. And floaters and other type of shenanigans in the mid-range are a lot more worth it than in years past, making that option a lot more useful to gamers. The sheer amount of customability visually you have, whether it's the location of the shot meter, the fatigue bar, the color, what size you want, is fun to mess around with the end goal being mastering your shot and visual cue enough to turn it off eventually. And lastly, another change to shooting that definitely was for the better was the contest system. After years of simply relying on the hands up to be all you need to do, but don't get me wrong, it still helps to have your hands up, but you really need to be in the shooter's pocket at the start of their shot to have a real impact on whether it goes in or not. You're definitely going to be surprised at how often shooters are actually deemed open in the game if you continue to defend like in years past. Another adjustment you're going to have to deal with as far as gameplay is concerned is getting used to the layup timing and it being on by default. Now, they make it nearly impossible to miss the shots you were supposed to make, like the wide open stuff, which is good. But boy, does it take some getting used to, because you're trying to navigate traffic, avoid defenders, and then bam, you have a meter to now deal with that adjusts during the animation depending on the defenders. It's crazy. I've gotten way better at it the more I have played, and having a proper meter location so I can quickly get my eyes on it. This is something I don't see people getting so good at that they're constantly making 100% smothered, but I'm willing to be proven wrong. It definitely feels rewarding when you do hit something crazy in traffic though. Whenever I had the option of playing with layup timing on, I always balked at it, but this year so far it's been fun and I haven't even thought about turning it off. Now, last year was definitely too easy to score in the paint, so thankfully I feel they have found a happy medium with it, making it feel deserved when you have the chance and punished with your shot getting punched into the backcourt when you take a stupid shot on Anthony Davis or Porzingis. But you do have a nice arsenal of shots and moves to play with to be able to counter a fearsome interior defender in NBA 2K24. Now, along with pro play technology, the dribbling system has seen a major upgrade as well, with more moves at our disposal than ever before. Kyrie feels like Kyrie, Garland, I mentioned before Paul George breaking off defenders with the new breakdown dribbles and chaining them together into other things, and the seamless transition of it all is exciting to execute. Although it caused some heat for a second, the blowout dribble is another cool addition to dribbling that we've seen from players for years. The adrenaline boost system has been updated as well, so ball handlers aren't penalized as much for trying to perform basic moves and move more towards losing a boost from getting clamped by a defender instead, and affecting your shooting instead of making your movement slower. So if a ball handler is straight getting clamped by Kawhi Leonard, his odds of successfully scoring goes down dramatically, as it should. Now, playing on-ball defense this year has been extremely rewarding as well, as you can absolutely wall off a ball handler just by playing your angles and keeping them in front of you. Unless you're playing against a Giannis type, you can put your body on the ball handler and not let them free if they're not trying to counter what you're doing. It also is more rewarding for the user with the right stick steal system, allowing you to go for steals with different hands and even play the passing lanes like that as well. It still is hard to remember sometimes, like if the ball handler goes left, you want to flick your right stick to the right and vice versa. But do beware your effectiveness going for steals and blocks go down dramatically the more you spam it, with the loss of an adrenaline boost. So they're promoting less spamming and more being smart when you attempt these maneuvers. Now, playing on Hall of Fame against the computer was a welcome challenge. One of the first things I always test to see is how they are versus the pick and roll, and I felt it was a nice give and take. Off-ball defenders would tag the roll man, the hedge defender would play the ball handler, and roll man excellent one possession, they get dunked on his head the next. Against the switch, Robert Williams would get really aggressive in his contest, which threw me off guard, but maybe it was because he's like 7 feet. Playing on ball, they would concede well-executed dribble combos, which was nice. On offense, once again, 2K has done a really good job making a star player on the opponent's team presence felt all game. When the game got tight towards the end, it was all Tatum. I love that. Now, I'm curious what others think, but boy, are there a lot of fouls this year. 2K had enough of people being overly aggressive and will call you for a shooting foul with the quickness. Are you used to leaping from the paint trying to block shooters' jump shots? Driving into the paint? You better not jump. Heck, even if you don't jump, you're getting called for a foul. If you accidentally run into the ball handler because you hit the wrong button, they will get you for a foul. The foul tendency is so sensitive, it's comical. But boy, does it make you play more careful, I tell you. There's also little things I love, like how reactive players are to balls about to go out of bounds, and the different animations we get for that. And just the ball being its own thing most of the time. Not attached to anybody and seeing it bounce every different way in heavy traffic is cool to see, but annoying how often it can happen, as it seems like they dip the ball in water sometimes. And even the replay mode is taking advantage of the power of the current gen consoles. It allows you to create some amazing looking replays and screenshots playing with the lighting, the colors and such. I'm still getting used to having this many options, and it kind of forces you to try and get your NBA film on while using it. Now, as far as game modes, it's tough when you're by far the best sports franchise mode running to innovate. So MyNBA pretty much is taking a slow and steady route to things, adding the less complex MyNBA Lite mode and the LeBron era about the biggest upgrades they have made to the mode. Again, the amount of depth their franchise mode offers blows every other sports franchise mode out of the water. Even their sim engine isn't too bad. I mean, what? I remember writing in our review last year with the Jordan Challenge, there should be a Kobe one next, and we got it. Mamba moments like the Jordan Challenge before it takes you through some of Kobe Bryant's most iconic moments in the NBA. The presentation of each game really takes this mode up a notch like last year, as they're able to focus on each specific game and take you back in time to that moment. You're surprised by an almost carbon copy of NBA on NBC with the intro and theme music. Considering I was alive and watched this series myself, it was crazy to be teleported back here. Although, come on, what's up with that scoreboard? They almost got it. It's a cool mode that you can obtain items to use in other modes by completing it, and reliving these moments will always be a treat, especially if you're bored on a lazy night in the future. Although, where's the 81-point game? That's crazy it's not in there, right? As far as the city goes, we are introduced to a new, beautiful, beachy city that is full of stuff to run around in and interact with. They did such a good job making sure there is something fun to always do roaming around in the city. And at the beginning, you're asked which affiliate you want to join, which I mean, considering what each specializes in, is there really a question who most will pick? But with that, the overall system in place for MyCAREER again forces you to buy VC to have any type of fun online playing against people if you lack patience. And if you didn't get a version that came with VC, which doesn't get you as far as it used to, good luck resisting the urge not to open the wallet with how long the grind would be otherwise. You even have the option of skipping levels this year by doing so. The core of the mode forces you to buy VC to get better, and I wish it was more evenly split, but I feel we're just beating a dead horse year after year with that. And lastly, MyTEAM has made some changes and improvements to their mode as well, with gamers kind of forcing their hand on it. Like the removal of the auction house and being able to outright buy cards that are in packs, making it more fair to everybody. There's an all-new salary cap mode to play around in. And being able to purchase MyTEAM points is another game changer as well, removing the need for players to purchase them from other sources. Now, 2K24 has made a bunch of improvements that have improved my enjoyment of the game. Pro Play is a game changer for sports games, period, and I'm excited for its future. And the inclusion of crossplay, although it seems like a mandatory feature in every sports game nowadays, it's cool to see your overall player base double like this and be able to interact with each other. A bunch of features I liked from last year were carried over as well, adding to the replayability of the game, and balancing some of the annoying aspects of gameplay, which caused me to give NBA 2K24 on current gen an 8 out of 10.